Here is a small estimating disagreement that tells you whether the whole system is reviewable. This plan has 4,106 square feet of wall faces and 3,500 square feet of ceiling. If both get 10% waste and use 4 by 12 sheets, do we need 175 sheets or 176? Both answers can come from reasonable math. The difference is whether you pool everything before rounding or keep the wall and ceiling work separate. One sheet will not make or break this practice project. Hidden logic might. I am using a small office plan in Takeoff. It is a practice job, so the quantities are controlled and the prices are not customer data or a recommendation. The first thing I want is not a sheet count. I want the measured scope to stay tied to the drawing. Here are 4,106 square feet of wall faces and 3,500 square feet of ceiling, each with its own source. I keep those quantities separate because they may not use the same board, installation method, waste allowance, or labor production. Combining them too early can make the total look tidy while hiding the decision. Now for the sheet math. The wall quantity times 1.10 gives 4,516.6 square feet. Divide by 48 square feet per sheet, and the unrounded result is a little over 94, so the wall group needs 95 sheets. The ceiling quantity times 1.10 gives 3,850 square feet. Divide by 48 and round up, and the ceiling group needs 81 sheets. That is 176 sheets when the two groups are rounded separately. If I pool all 7,606 square feet first, add 10%, divide by 48, and round once, I get 175. There is no magic rule that makes one method correct for every job. Different board types should obviously stay separate. Board orientation, room size, cut-up work, stocking, supplier packaging, and the way your crew installs all matter. The rule I care about is simpler. Write down the method you intend to use and make the result easy to review. Inside the estimate, I can keep the measured quantity, formula, output unit, waste variable, and component cost visible. That lets me see that 4,106 became 4,516.6 because of a 10% factor. It is not just a larger number that appeared somewhere downstream. Board is only one component. Fasteners, tape, compound, corner bead, insulation, and labor can each use a different coverage or production basis. Those inputs belong in the assembly where another estimator can inspect them, not in somebody's memory. Labor deserves the same treatment. If labor is based on adjusted square footage and a production rate, keep the production assumption visible. If height, layers, finish level, access, or phasing changes, the old rate may no longer fit. The values on this practice project are test inputs. On a live bid, I would replace them with current supplier and crew information and keep a note explaining anything unusual. Now I can test the estimate instead of arguing with it. If I move waste from 10% to 12%, the component quantity and cost change in front of me. That does not mean 12% is better. It means I can see the consequence and decide whether the plan actually supports it. Small rooms, short returns, diagonal cuts, specialty board, and awkward stocking can justify a different allowance. A blanket 10% is convenient. It is not evidence. Before I mark the estimate reviewed, I can follow the line back to the drawing, inspect the formula, and clear any missing assembly or missing price warning. Then I save a named checkpoint so this reviewed version is distinguishable from the next revision. That is where reuse becomes useful. On the next project, I do not want to rebuild the entire estimating structure. I want to start with the reviewed assembly, then ask what changed. Wall height, layers, fire rating, board size, finish level, crew production, waste, and current prices. Reuse the structure. Recheck the assumptions. That is how an estimate helps with the next one without becoming autopilot. If this is how you prefer to estimate, source-linked quantities, visible math, reusable assemblies, and no subscription, the full drywall workflow and worked plan are linked below. Takeoff is construction takeoff and estimating software for Windows. It is $79 once with no subscription. Even if you never buy it, keep this rule. Never let waste become a number you cannot explain.